Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. Appreciate you joining us here today. Football season right around the corner. It's week 0 in college football. And before you know it, we're going to have that Thursday night game where we'll determine if Micah Parsons is going to play at all during the course of the 2025 regular season for the Dallas Cowboys. But the Cardinals season will begin soon enough. Well, how fun are the Cardinals going to be this season? Well, as part of their NFL watchability rankings, I enjoy this. Zach Lowe used to do this when he was at ESPN. He used to do the League Pass ratings for the NBA. Which team on League Pass you should go out of your way to watch just from a pure enjoyment perspective? Well, they're doing this for the NFL season, and these are how the teams are being graded. Big plays, close games, star players, and my favorite category, cool stuff. That's just probably everything else you just want to throw into the blender there that makes a team watchable. And so with all of that in mind, Ben Solak over at ESPN ranked all 32 NFL teams. And they had the Arizona Cardinals ranked 28th, meaning the Cardinals are only more fun than 4 NFL teams. Those 4 NFL teams, the Cleveland Browns, the New Orleans Saints, this may be a surprise to some, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Seattle Seahawks. The 4 teams that the Cardinals are more watchable than, more fun than. So an Arizona Cardinals team that, at least according to one spot here, not going to be very fun. I say it doesn't matter where the Cardinals are at on this watchability ranking, that they don't have a ton of big star players, that their bend but don't break defensive philosophy doesn't lead to a lot of points, and that they didn't have a great pass rush last year, and that it's not an exciting offense. You know what I care about, producer Evan? You know what I think many of the listeners of this show care about? Does the team win football games? And I think the level of fun that people are going to have watching the Arizona Cardinals is going to be a direct reflection of how much winning gets done by the Arizona Cardinals. I don't care that the Cardinals are 28th in this ranking. Sure. Is their style of football very old school? Run first, play really tough defense, want to grind it out, win the time of possession, limit the amount of times the opposing team holds the football? Sure. Is it going to be slow at times? Yeah. But you know what? If the Cardinals are winning at the end of the day, most of you are going to say that was fun. Most of you are going to say, great, keep doing it, enjoyed it, see you again next Sunday. Most of you aren't going to care. Would you rather the Cardinals lose 41-38 every week? But you know what? They're fun. Kyler Murray's throwing for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. Still not enough to win, but boy, that was fun. No, what matters at the end of the day is wins and losses. And so you know what? I'd rather win boring than lose exciting. And if this team wins boring, you're going to have a fun time. If this team wins boring, it's going to be a good season. So being 28th on the watchability rankings, you know how this team is going to be watchable for all of you? Do you know how this team is going to be watchable for producer Evan and I throughout the course of the year? Are they winning football games? Are they doing what they are supposed to do early on in the season? Beating the Saints in week 1, beating the Panthers in week 2. Are they doing those things? Because I'll tell you, if they're doing that, I'm not going to come in here and say, you know what? I know it's been a little bit since the Cardinals have been relevant, and I know it's been a while since they've had a team good enough to be in the postseason, and this team's certainly on its way to being that. But you know what? They're just kind of boring. You know, they're not really winning the way that we would like them to win. Could they score some more points? You know, maybe they could get some more turnovers defensively, have some more exciting plays, maybe a punt return. You would
Who cares?
Exactly. The perfect use of that drop. Who cares? I want to win football games. I don't care how pretty or ugly it looks.
Also, this article just hates the NFC West.
Seahawks 29, the Rams right in front of them at 27. Yeah.
You got to go 16 for the Niners. They don't have a single team in the top half.
As John points out over on the YouTube channel, losing, not fun. Exactly. Winning, fun. Losing, not fun. It's as simple. That's going to be the watchability ranking and metric that all of you are going to use throughout the course of the season.
Let me ask you two questions. Do you think the Cincinnati Bengals, who are fourth on this list, wish they were slightly more boring?
You know what? I think they wish their defense maybe could slow down the opposition a little bit.
I think they wish they were more boring. The Atlanta Falcons, who are sixth on this list, do you think they wish they were probably more boring?
The Kansas City Chiefs are 30th on this list. Do you think they're worried about that in Kansas City? Do you think they're worried of, we're just not watchable. Nobody wants to watch us. No, they care about winning football games. It doesn't keep Andy Reid up at night that his team was ranked 30th in ESPN's watchability rankings. And yeah, do you want to see a team that plays hard and is fun to watch? Sure. But there's a direct correlation. I think we're all going to think that the way the Cardinals are trying to play is fun if it's working and they're winning. If they're losing, not going to be fun. Not going to be enjoyable.
Wins and losses determine fun or not fun.
Cincinnati is the perfect example of this. They have a great quarterback. They have a great offense. They put up a ton of points. They're exciting. What are the metrics again? Big plays. Ooh. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and everybody.
Big plays, star power, close games, cool stuff.
The Cincinnati Bengals, they have all of that. Were they participating in the postseason last year?
The Bengals were 4-7 in 11 one-score games. They enter this season with a new defensive coordinator, blah, blah, blah. Incredible offense, bad defense, just most watchable.
Just win football games. That is going to be what determines the enjoyment level that we all have out of this season. There are high expectations, yes. But if you win football games, I'm not going to care how it looks. I'm not going to care that you play a boring style that's, defense first. Run the football. Maybe have your quarterback throw it 25 times. Do you remember the old school when you would get a rookie quarterback? Like I'm talking mid-2000s, early 2010s. You're like, hey, we're just going to have that quarterback throw the ball 18 to 20 times. We're going to run the football, rely on our defense. That's the way the Cardinals play with Kyler Murray entering year 7. And you know what? If they win, sign me up.
It's the way the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. Won the Super Bowl doing that. The whole way there, people ask questions about their pass game. Do you know what the Eagles think about people asking questions about their pass game?
Yeah. You want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
Who cares?
Hey, who cares? Who cares?
If you win, nobody cares.
Now, if you lose, yeah.
People care.
People care. I care about how you're losing. I care about the way that it looks. Because you know what? If I'm going to devote my Sundays to watching this team, I'd rather you not lose.
By the way, I disagree with so much of this list.
Do we have enough time to go through all of your disagreements?
The Commanders at number 1.
So you have a vendetta against the Commanders, and you've had it all offseason.
Yeah, they got older.
To me,
they were the oldest team in football last year. They got older this year. Does that seem like a very entertaining team to me? Their best receiver hasn't practiced. I get it, Jaden Daniels, and they played a lot of one-score games. You know when they were boring? When they played the Eagles.
I would say Baltimore is the team that I like watching the most.
Certainly.
They're number 2 on this list. They would be the team that I would put number 1 because they just have so many ways that they can beat you. And Lamar is so electric, and Derrick Henry is so electric that just watching them operate on anytime red zone kicks over to Baltimore and Lamar has the ball, I'm just like, this is going to be fun.
Every time. The Falcons at 6. That is insane to me. That is insane. Their most entertaining game of last year came against Carolina, who's like 30th.
Now, I will tell you, if you are a neutral observer, watching Atlanta find and invent new ways to lose is enjoyable. if you live in the Atlanta area and you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, I could understand maybe not wanting to be number 6 on this list. Because as the story points out, in September, they had 4 games that went this way. They beat the Eagles on a 2-minute drive. They lost to the Chiefs by 1 score after 2 consecutive red zone drives ending with turnover on downs. They beat the Saints on a game-winning field goal after they had given up the lead with 1 minute to go. And they beat the Bucs in overtime on a day where Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards.
Yep.
So that's fun if you're a neutral observer. Not fun if you are an Atlanta Falcons fan.
And that team was horrible to watch. And again, they're just like, they're a team that's not going to use Bijan Robinson enough. They're not going to use Drake London enough.
Especially in the red zone. And down inside the 5, Bijan Robinson just gets taken off the field.
I actually think, looking at this list, the Bucs should be higher.
I mean, they're 7. They're already pretty high, but yes.
The Raiders at 9.
What is exciting about the Raiders? What?
I have so many questions about the Raiders.
Gosh, why do people think the Raiders are going to be good? Pete Carroll, that is not a win-now team, and Pete Carroll is in win-now mode. He's 73.
I have been on the record of really liking what Denver has. Don't know if they're going to be fun to watch.
There are 15 on this list. By the way, I love the blurb for Cleveland at 32. No, thank you. This is literally, I'm going to read it verbatim. Quote, no, thank you. Well, actually, I'll watch the first Shador Sanders start in week 12 just to enjoy the pageantry of it all. But other than that, no thanks, end quote. That's it. That is the entire breakdown of the Cleveland Browns.
And then Carolina's too low.
Carolina is too low. Carolina is 26.
26.
And you are just so in on Bryce Young, and I can't get there.
Even if I'm out on him, number 1 pick, had all of the, think of the storyline there. And this is supposed to be his comeback year. We're going to put him 26th. They took a receiver 8th overall. They made additions defensively. They were one of the most effective games or effective teams on the ground last year. And they couldn't throw until the end of last year. They had the Eagles on the ropes.
I'm just not in. I feel very comfortable with where they're at in these standings, but listen, I get it. When we do picks, and we have to decide on how we want to do this, because last year on the show, I just made 6 picks. We called it the Schubert 6, and I had a 6-point play, a 5-point play, and obviously it tiered down because I didn't have anybody to really compete with. We had producers in and out. You're established. You're on the program now, so I wonder if it is head to head, you and I going against each other. Probably is what it should be.
Maybe we take a caller too. We do a caller picks of the week.
So I was thinking about this, that we also could maybe include one listener every week to compete against you and I. And if they beat one of us, then they win something. We're kicking around some ideas, but I do think it should be you against me. And we can do a 3-point play, a 2-point play, and a 1-point play.
I like that.
And you can pick whatever you want. You want to pick a total?
I can do a total,
you
a
can
prop.
do a spread.
I think no props.
I think if you're going to, I wouldn't do props. I did props last year for my picks that I gave away, and the only props I did were touchdown props.
Okay.
But if we want to, I think we should leave it to just spreads and totals.
I like that.
And if we do that, 3-point play, 2-point play, 1-point play, we do our picks every Friday throughout the course of the season. And whoever had the better week the week before gets to go first.
You're going to hate my touchdown picks. I love betting Najee Harris to score, which I won't do as much this year.
Well, don't do that for the picks, but if you want to give out additional stuff, maybe we'll put some stuff on social media.
Yeah.
But for the pick segment on the show.
I like that.
And then I don't know what the loser will have to do.
Are we going to keep a season?
Oh, yeah.
I think we'll just do a fantasy football style punishment on a season record.
Okay, well, we don't have a ton of time. We do need to come up with what that punishment is, and you do need to understand that in your fantasy football league, you can get away with a little bit more. We are representing a company here, so we can't.
No, I know.
If we want to do you got to spend 12 hours at a Waffle House or something like that, that's probably very much more in line with what we're able to do than wearing a sign out in front of the building that says something.
Last year, we had our buddy run a 5K in Timberland boots.
Right. So something like that, I think, is very much well within the bounds of what we could do here on the show in terms of a punishment.
I think that's perfect.
So we'll have to come up with what the punishment is here over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll do our picks here throughout the year. And we'll just keep track. And it'll be just points. You get your 3-point play, you get 3 points. And just whoever's got the most points at the end of the season, you're the winner.